Fun here. I see a Zack D Films video randomly, either on TikTok, Instagram, it don't matter. And I thought to myself, man, I want to binge watch this shit. Like sometimes it just be, I don't know, bro. Like it just has me hooked. Like I can't even explain the satisfaction I get from watching these videos sometimes. And I don't even know if they are true. I don't even care. But today I was like, you know what? Let's binge watch some Zack D Film shorts on YouTube. So with that being said, if you're new, like, comment, subscribe. If you're not new, just keep coming back. Subscriber, what are you doing? I know I've been gone for a while, but we're back now.
He was pulled into a drain pipe after being caught in a flood. A nearby officer rushed over to help, but he was quickly dragged in too. The rushing water forced them both through the 100-foot-long pipe, and they were underwater for nearly 30 seconds.
Yo, I would be freaking the fuck out. Because not only do I hate tight, bro, I can't be wrapped in a blanket. I traumatized myself wrapping myself in a blanket. So this right here, I'm cut.
For nearly 30 seconds.
Did he just shut up that
100-foot-long pipe, and they were underwater.
Yeah, that's tears.
For nearly 30 seconds as the pipe.
Did the car just park?
Nearly 30 seconds as the pipe traveled beneath a 4-lane highway. They finally came out on the other side, gasping for air and lucky to be alive.
What the? Did this nigga just smile at me?
Gasping for air and lucky to be alive.
Why'd they give him swoop dreads? God damn it.
She set up the sleep app, hoping it would help her rest better. Now, this app recorded her sleep noises, like talking or tossing and turning. But one night at 2 a.m., it recorded rustling sounds, like someone searching through her things. Then her half-asleep voice mumbled, "What are you doing?" A deep male voice responded, "Nothing." But she was home alone with her toddler son. 2 more nights, the app recorded the same chilling rustling before she decided to move. And after she left the house, the noises stopped entirely.
I have so many questions. Cause like you don't remember mumbling that? Like if I'm asleep and I'm somehow waking up to you like, what are you doing? I don't think. Anyway, bro. Anyway.
If you fall into a gorilla exhibit, you might try to scream and run.
Nah, you just be chilling with them, bro.
But this could upset the gorillas, making them attack. Instead, stay calm and avoid sudden movements.
Facts.
Slowly crouch down to look small and non-threatening. And don't make eye contact. Calmly back away towards a safe structure like the enclosure walls. If a gorilla approaches, stay still and they might just lose interest. And remember, zoo staff are trained for these emergencies, so wait for their help to escape safely.
What the fuck?
A branch impaled a woman in her neck when it crashed through her windshield. The branch was 18 inches long and over an inch thick and was lodged near her shoulder. Because they were far from help, her husband sped down bumpy roads, racing to find aid. And finally, they reached a lodge, where a nurse called for emergency air transport. Surgeons took 6 hours to remove the branch because it was so close to her
The fact that she can live that long.
windpipe. The woman survived despite sustaining very serious injuries.
Can she still talk? Like when that's it? Yo, that'd be some of my like biggest fears. I'll be like driving by behind those trucks. They be having like either those metal rods or like wood. I'm like, bro, no.
If your plane crashes into the ocean, your first priority should be getting out quickly before it's filled with fire. If you're wearing a life jacket, don't inflate it until after leaving the aircraft. Otherwise, it could trap you inside. Once you're in the water, look for floating debris to use as a raft. Try to form a group to stay warm and signal for help. And always stay close to the crash site. Rescuers will search there first.
Bro, it's been a lot of plane crashes for some reason. Like upside down planes just going down. Man. I don't be thinking like that when I'm on a plane though. I should like, I'm gonna make it.
If you got stuck on a glue trap after being
What?
shrunk down, your first instinct might be to struggle, but this
What?
will only get you stuck more. Instead, stay still and keep calm. Look for some oil to break down the glue's sticking power.
Okay, why the fuck would it be random oil next to a glue trap, Zack?
If you can't find any, your saliva can eventually lessen the glue's hold. Once the glue is soft, use a credit card to
Zack, where the fuck?
slowly pry your limbs free. And once you're loose, move quickly to the edge of the trap to avoid getting stuck.
So that's how the mouse got off my trap when I was living in the basement in my parents' house. This mouse found a way to get the peanut butter off of the trap and also get off the trap. This has got to be the method he used, bro, because there's no other way. Because I remember one time I put like food on the trap, a whole bunch of traps around the food. I'm like, there's no way he's getting out of this one. He got it. He got it somehow. I don't know how, but he must have been using this method.
Again. If the snake had slithered into
What
her
the
mouth
fuck?
and down
That's sexual assault
her
some way.
throat while she was sleeping in her garden. When she woke up, she felt sick and rushed to the hospital. And during an x-ray, doctors discovered the 4-foot snake had lodged itself in her throat. She was sedated while they fed a scope down her throat until they reached the snake and carefully pulled it out. The snake, it shoots a tiny dart made of ice that would lodge into the skin, leaving only a small red dot. Each of these darts are loaded with a deadly poison from shellfish. And once inside the body, the poison disrupts nerve signals, which paralyzes muscles. This would cause the heart to beat in a weird, uneven rhythm until it completely stopped, killing the person within minutes. These guns were used by the CIA to take out people without leaving a trace, making it look like a heart attack.
Who the fuck they using on? Anybody in the comments smart? The comments know everything apparently. This was back in the day, not think about what they have now. I don't even know if that shit's true or not.
The doctor pulled a pen cap out of the man's ear. He had been
Okay.
using a pen to itch the inside of his ear and lost the
Hello,
cap
my
inside.
nigga.
Another time, a person kept hearing strange clicking sounds every time they moved their jaw. When the doctor checked their ear, they found a small white tooth hidden inside. In a more shocking case, a patient complained that their ear felt like it was burning. The doctor pulled out a battery that was leaking acid inside.
Alright.
The doctor pulled up. The lenses were peeled from her eye, one by one. You see, for weeks, the woman had been putting in her contact lenses, but she forgot to take out the old pair each time, and they rolled to the back of her eyes. When they inspected the woman's eye, they were shocked to find a dark purple blob under her eyelid. The doctor eventually pulled out 23 pairs of contacts.
She's just a dickhead.
She packed the marshmallows into her mouth, completely
Chubby bunny
filling
challenge?
it. They were playing
I
a
know
game
about that.
where you stuff marshmallows in and try to say chubby bunny. At first, it seemed harmless as her cheeks puffed out. But soon, the marshmallows blocked her throat, making it impossible to breathe. She collapsed,
She died.
choking, unable to draw a single breath. And by the time
died.
adults realized the severity of the situation, it was too late.
The downfall of the Chubby Bunny Challenge. For those wondering, 12-year-old Catherine Cassie Fish died from after choking 4 marshmallows during a contest taking place at the school. The teacher, supervision left. Blah, blah, blah. Damn. Oh, this is a true story. God damn.
She accidentally swallowed a whole
So are all these true, or some of these are like damn?
fish head, and it got stuck in her throat. But
Like imagine that actually, imagine you just get a call, you at work, and your kid is dead trying to do a Chubby Bunny challenge. Like what?
this fish had spikes, and they acted like hooks lodging inside her. Doctors knew they couldn't just yank it out. Instead, they carefully chopped the fish head into small bits with special tools. With a scope guiding them, the doctors used forceps to grab each piece. They slowly pulled the pieces out one by one, and the woman recovered. A tick crawled in.
Oh god. Oh god.
to a man's
God.
eye and bit it while he was cutting down a tree. He panicked and tried to flush it out with water, but the irritation in his eye wouldn't go away. In pain, he went to see an eye doctor, where they found the tick. They carefully numbed his eye and used tweezers to gently grab the tick and pull it off.
But bro, nah, this gotta be a true story. I think we established that all these stories are true. Some of them. But like, bro, I remember I got a bug in my eye, like dead, like a bug flew in my eye, bro, and it was like stuck in there. I was panicking. I got it out somehow, but bro, I would have been end up just like this.
If he had waited, the tick would have scratched his cornea, causing an infection. A dog in a tiny space capsule was launched into space. She had been training for weeks, being spun in a large machine to get her ready for zero gravity. Unfortunately, her heart rate spiked to 3 times its normal beats per minute as she began to panic, and a heat shield malfunctioned on the capsule, leading her to start having heat exhaustion. The media was told the dog lived for several weeks in space, but sadly, it was later discovered she died just hours after the space capsule launched.
Why the fuck are we sending dogs to space anyway? What?
A hole in a rock is filled with seeds as the baboon watches on curiously. And as soon as the bushman leaves, the baboon reaches in and grabs the bait. But its clenched fist won't fit back out of the hole. And even as the bushman approaches, it refuses to give up the seeds and is easily caught. It's then given lumps of salt, which makes it thirsty. So when it's finally let go, it leads the bushman straight to its
Yeah, that's actually fire.
secret source of water.
Imagine the baboon doesn't have a secret source. Yeah, just both sitting there dying of thirst.
A hole in a rock. The platform suddenly collapsed under the weight of the 17 students, and they fell 130 feet before smashing into the ravine below. That's because the platform had been made with nails instead of bolts and was never approved for construction. 2 witnesses scrambled down to help, while another ran 5 miles to contact police. But it took 2 hours for an officer to reach them, and another 4 until helicopters lifted them all out. Tragically, only 4 students made it out alive.
I was got it, but jeez.
The anaconda struck and latched onto his head after he covered himself in pig's blood. It wrapped itself around his body and squeezed with terrifying force. The stunt promised he would be eaten alive, but as his arm began to crack under the pressure, he yelled for his team to rescue him. Viewers were furious, expecting the snake to swallow him whole. But instead, his helpers pulled the snake off when it had swallowed only the top of his head. The anaconda struck and latched onto his head after he covered himself in pig's blood. It wrapped itself around his When you swallow a live fish, it wriggles down your throat, making it harder to go down. To make things worse, if the fish has sharp spines, they could scratch up your throat. But if you do manage to swallow it, the fish would end up in your stomach, where it wouldn't survive for long. Your stomach acid is extremely strong, and it would break down the fish quickly. However, live fish can carry parasites like tapeworms, which could survive the stomach acid and infect your digestive system. If you never cut your nails, you might think they'd only grow a few feet, but your fingernails grow about 1/10 of an inch every month. And if you live to be 80, each nail would be almost 10 feet long.
Bro, that gotta be capped. I've seen some people's nails, they look like this. If y'all can see it for like their whole life. It look like this. Their entire life. So I don't believe that. Have you ever seen a mechanic hand? It's all like any like blue collar person's hand. It's the most disgusting hand you'll see in your life. And I doubt it. Maybe you gotta have like healthy hands. Maybe.
Treadmills weren't for fitness, they were for punishment. Prisoners walked for hours, turning a giant wheel that ground corn or pumped water. It was endless, 10 hours a day, just to exhaust the inmates. Some even died from the effort. By the late 1800s, people realized it was too brutal, and the treadmill was banned from British prisons. But in the 1960s, it reappeared as exercise equipment. Today, millions walk on it voluntarily, unaware of its dark origins.
Yo, the British had some wild ways, didn't they?
This is a compound fracture, and it happens when your bone breaks and pierces through the skin. To fix it, a doctor will cut open the skin and start to realign the bones. Once they are back in the correct position, rods and screws are inserted. This keeps them securely in place, stabilizing the structure so the bones remain aligned while they heal. You bite your nails. You create tiny tears in the skin around it. Then the bacteria from your mouth can actually get into these tears, making the area around your nails red and tender. These small injuries can lead to painful infections and swelling. Not to mention,
that has never happened.
Biting them makes your nails look jagged and uneven. So do yourself a favor and just use nail clippers.
I am a crazy nail biter. My shit don't look that bad. Cause I know how to bite. I know how to bite them to the point where like you're like filing them at the same time. Cause you can't just like do it all even. Like no, once you bite it, then you gotta file it with your teeth, like even it out. I know how to do it, bruh.
When you lock your knees, your leg muscles stop.
Yo, I remember like band people, like people in band will do this and they're like fainting.
Pushing blood back up toward your heart. This causes it to pool in your lower body, making it harder for your heart to pump enough blood to your brain. As blood flow to your brain decreases, your blood pressure drops, which can make you feel dizzy. Without enough oxygen from the blood, your brain struggles to stay alert, and your body reacts by causing you to pass out.
Yep, I do that.
When you were placed on the rack, a man fell off of the front of a moving train, and your suitcase is tagged with a barcode and sent onto a conveyor belt system. And during this journey, sudden stops and sharp turns can jostle it around. The barcode is scanned, which directs it to the correct area, where rough handling and stacking can cause damage. And by the time you retrieve it, your luggage might not look too great. But if you get a Ridge suitcase, it's built with a polycarbonate weatherproof shell and sturdy corner protectors. This allows it to withstand the sudden stops, sharp turns.
I don't know, sometimes just going down a rabbit hole of this content is soothing. So with that being said, if you enjoy, like, comment, subscribe. If you're new, just keep coming back. And that's gonna do it. Zack D Films. The more you know. He teaches us about things that you might have never knew. See you on the next one. Peace.